The slave ship Dreadwraith drifted silently through the endless void of the Hegemony's border space, its hull scarring the black with jagged streaks of battle scars and the glow of dim emergency lights. Cargo Hold 7 was sealed tight, a cramped tomb of stacked crates and struggling prisoners. Among them was a girl, barely more than a child by human standards, but already hardened by the cruelty of her kind. Her skin was an unusual pale violet, marked by faint, swirling bioluminescent patterns that flickered softly whenever she moved. Her large, almond-shaped eyes glowed a muted emerald, but even those bright orbs were dulled now by exhaustion and despair. They called her surplus, a worthless commodity they didn't want, another mouth to feed that cut into the profits of the slave trade. So when the captain's orders came down cold and merciless, she was dragged out from the stacked prisoners and thrown into the airlock, the cold vacuum awaiting her just beyond the breach. Her name was Lira. The beginning, discarded and alone. The moment the outer door hissed open, Lira gasped, the artificial gravity of the ship slipping away as her body floated helplessly in zero-G. The cold vacuum of space tugged at her, but reflex took over. She flailed, reaching for anything solid, anything that might save her, but the empty corridor offered no refuge. Her breath hissed out of her lungs as the air pressure dropped, pain searing through her ears and lungs. The ship's lights flickered ominously, casting a cruel glow on her terrified face. She could hear the muffled, cold voice of the captain through the comms. Surplus alien girl jettisoned. Profit lost. Negligible. The emergency bulkhead started to close. Lyra's heart thundered. She pushed harder, her fingertips scraping the metal floor just as the hatch slammed shut. Suddenly, her body jolted, a surge from a magnetic grapple tethered to her wrist. She was yanked back inside, gasping for air, coughing violently. The middle, the unexpected savior. The hand that grabbed her was rough, human, and surprisingly gentle. "Hey, you okay?" a voice asked, laced with concern and disbelief. Lira looked up. The man was tall, broad-shouldered, with eyes as tired as hers but burning with something fierce, determination. His name was Marcus, a salvage captain notorious for scavenging derelict ships and outlaws, but with a reputation for compassion that had earned him grudging respect. "What are you doing?" the captain said. Marcus cut him off, his voice low. "I don't care what the captain said. You're not surplus. Not to me." He hauled her into the dim corridor, ignoring the stunned looks of passing crew. To Marcus, Lira was more than a cargo number or a slave to be discarded. She was alive, and that meant something. Marcus's ship, the Haven, was a small but sturdy freighter hidden in the nebulae near the Hegemony's borders, a refuge for the outcasts, the forgotten, the hunted. There Lira was tended to with care. Her lungs were damaged from the vacuum exposure, but she survived. Days bled into weeks as she recovered. Marcus taught her to trust again, something the Hegemony had stripped from her like skin. She learned the ship systems, helped patch the rusted hull, and slowly began to find her place in a crew that saw beyond the color of her skin or the origins of her species. But the shadows of her past clung tightly. The slave traders didn't forget easily. Whispers of a missing cargo spread through the black markets and military outposts. The turning point, rising from ashes. One night, the Haven was ambushed by a patrol cruiser. Armed to the teeth, the Hegemony's soldiers stormed the ship. The crew was outnumbered, but they fought fiercely to protect their home and each other. During the chaos, Lira was captured and dragged away, her pleas echoing in the cold metal corridors. But Marcus wasn't about to lose her again. With desperate resolve, he led a daring rescue deep into the heart of the enemy ship. Using the skills he'd honed as a scavenger, He bypassed security systems and neutralized guards silently, finally reaching the holding cell where Lira was confined. Their reunion was fierce and silent. No words were needed. The bond forged in hardship spoke volumes. The climax. The battle for freedom. Together, they fought their way back to the haven, but the patrol cruiser was relentless. Pursuit engines roared, and the cold void was filled with the dance of laser fire and missile trails. Lira discovered hidden strengths during the battle, reflexes sharpened by years of survival, a latent biotechnological ability to manipulate energy fields, a gift from her ancestors that she'd barely understood until now. She unleashed it in a moment of desperation, disabling the enemy's weapons and giving Marcus the opening to strike a decisive blow. The ending, new beginnings. When the dust settled, the haven limped away from the battlefield. The crew cheered their unlikely victory, but Marcus and Lira shared a quiet moment in the ship's observation deck, staring at the swirling stars beyond. "You're not worthless," Marcus said softly. "Not to me, and not to anyone who truly matters." Lira smiled for the first time in what felt like forever. "I'm not just a survivor," she replied, her voice steady. "I'm something more." And with that, she embraced her new life. Not as surplus, not as a slave, but as a person reborn in the vastness of space, with hope burning brighter than the stars.